a lot of experience back on this unit of the defense. What are your expectations based on the fact that you guys have played so much and had so much success together?
I think just take it to another level. Go make the plays that average D lineman might not make. Try to be great on every play in the entire game. It's kind of been our goal throughout the summer, and just really taking it to another level.
Well, you mentioned take it to another level. It's easy to say. How do you actually do that, and how does Coach help you get to that next level?
I think being detailed in all the little things, we've taken a big emphasis on that this year, and we have a great group of guys. I think there's 14 of us in our room right now, and everybody's hungry to get better every day, so it makes it easier on us older guys too.
And what do you want to get out of this season for not just you and the defense, but for the whole team?
Well, there's a lot of good seniors on this team that have been here for a long time, and luckily I still have 2 more years, so being able to do it for these guys and try to make it to the postseason, the playoffs. We love going to a bowl game, but we won the playoff run this year.
Fantastic. Well, you're undisputed, captain, one of the leaders on this team. What kind of responsibility is that for you to lead this team?
I think that's a huge responsibility. Me being here in my 6th year, guys are looking up to me to take control of the team and take control of that defense and defensive line. I think it's major.
Coach LoPorto, what's it like working with him as he's kind of built this defense, and how is the first week and first day of the second week gone with Coach LoPorto and getting this defense to where you guys feel like it needs to be?
No, it's great. He's just been preaching to us each and every day to stay consistent. Takeaways is a big thing that we want to focus on, and stacking the days. Being consistent each and every day. He's really leveled this room to his highest standard that we want to keep it at.
You mentioned on the way up to Kansas City, 15 points last year away from winning those games that you guys didn't quite pull out. How much of a motivating factor was that for you personally, for the defense, and for the entire team to make sure that you're on the right side of those 15 points this year?
That was a big factor. We always talk about those 15 points, just like a ready room today. When Coach was talking about, took 15 points, and that's all it was for us to become undefeated. And it's always little things, and just going back in those games, you can see it was the little things that we lost those games. So we want to take into detail. Those are going to be a difference between winning and losing those games. So that's really been on my mind and on our mind all week and all fall. Good. All right. Thank you.
Progress that you've made personally, what progress have you seen on the unit and also from your defense as you've moved through week 1 of camp and now into week 2?
I've seen more of a grow in our personality, our swag, the type of effort we bring each and every day. I mean, it's grown exponentially, especially with Coach Lopo bringing that fire at the beginning of the camp and giving us speeches and getting us ready to go for camp. So it's been great.
Well, on the way up to Kansas City, I had a chance to talk with number 7, a lot. He told me about the chain gang. What is the chain gang mentality?
It's just a family atmosphere, man. We're brothers and always will be, and we go to war together and we'll do anything for each other. So that's what the chain gang means to me, and I'm sure if you ask any one of the guys, they'll say the same thing.
I know Coach LoPorto in the first week was a little exasperated. There were several balls that were almost interceptions that you didn't quite get. Later part of the week, you guys did get some of those pickoffs and turnovers. How important is that for you guys as a unit to get your hands up in the air, to give your linebackers and defensive backs, and maybe you guys might be able to get an interception, but to get that extra possession for your offense?
Oh yeah, that can be the difference between winning and losing a game, man. I mean, last year I can think of multiple times where if we would have got our hands up on a ball, we would have won that game. So it can be the difference in winning and losing.
Coach, 1 weekend, how's the defense looking in terms of what you want to see out of them as you enter into the second week of practice?
Yeah, I mean, my big thing is I look for is just the effort. We lost some key pieces a year ago that I felt like led us. The leadership-wise was a question mark, and that's what I wanted to see is that effort, that leadership, that from the front, that mentality from some guys who have new roles. And so positive so far, a lot of work to do.
You guys have some big-time names back on what Williams told me was called the chain gang there on the defensive line, the unit that you coach. What do you want to see out of the chain gang, and what are your expectations of them this year?
Correct. No, it's I'm lucky. I got a talented group. And my thing with those guys is if you want to be known as a good group, you got to hold that standard daily. You got to hold that standard weekly. And so I'm excited about them. I think they got a lot of potential going forward, but we got to do it on Saturdays. We're going to have a target on our back.
we had talked a couple of times in the first week, and you were a little exasperated because you were so close, just fingertips away, and just not getting the turnovers that you thought you could get. Later last week, you were able to force more turnovers. In terms of getting those turnovers, extra opportunities for your offense, how much do you guys emphasize that during camp and during practice during the season?
Yeah, the ball is everything. That's something our offense talks about, finding new extra possessions. Defensively, we gotta own the ball. We gotta find the ball, and that's something that we wanted to kind of up our game again this year. Anytime we take the ball away from our offense is a good day. They're a good offense, and it's the tempo, our guys being able to focus into the little things right. It's a good thing. But the ball is everything, and that's one thing we want to hone in on. The more possessions we get for Braden Gleason, the better the Hornets will be. I promise you that.
Final question for you, Coach. Coach Higgins had talked about kind of where he was in terms of what mode of camp that he was in. Install in the first week. A couple more in terms of the specialized situations this week. Where are you at in terms of your installation process, and have you already transitioned over to just kind of polishing what you've done in terms of getting your defense in?
Correct. Yeah, last week was a big install. Kind of start camp off the right way and get our base menu of our defense ready to go. This week is more of a situational thought process, but my goal this week is can we match the energy from last week? The X's and O's will happen, the game plans will happen, but can my guys match their energy from week 1 to week 2? Although we do slow down with that install. So, when it comes to the X's and O's, yeah, we're polishing. We're kind of in polish mode. But when it comes to the energy, effort, I want to see it go up even more.
Awesome. Coach, we talked about on Saturday that as we move forward to the next week, you wanted to see things continue to improve, looking for perfection. Probably don't get it. Did you take another step toward perfection in the first practice of the second week of training camp?
Again, and I'm speaking just from a standpoint of I got to watch practice film, but I wish our pace would have been a little bit better today. We had an off day yesterday, and the weather, we caught a really big break with the weather today. It was nice. I mean, heck, in my quarterback meeting room this morning, it was cold. I was wearing a long sleeve. So I wish our pace would have been better. That's the thing is we're at that 7th day. This is that midway point where guys are going to be sore. They need to take care of their bodies. Football is a physical, demanding, tough. You got to be tough to play this game, and guys are going to have to push through it. It's called training camp. All right, that's what it's designed for, is to be tough and to make us have to fight through tough things to make us better.
What have you seen out of the defense here in the first 7 practices, and where do you think that unit is, and where do you want them to get for the first game against Lincoln?
Well, I think we need to play the right way against Lincoln. I think they're doing a great job. I think they understand, and I probably haven't told them enough of this, but you win championships with defense, and there's no question. And I've said this too, that last year defensively was the best defense we've had. And the challenge is for them is to put it back to back and to do it because we've had some other defenses that were very good, but the key is always to do it back to back. And, that's what we're going to have to do this year. And but, yeah, I think there's a lot of competition out there. Both sides of the ball, I do see that, and I do see them bringing a lot of energy and enthusiasm, which you gotta have that too. Sometimes that's half the battle over there on defense. Is just you got to play with the different type of mind. I don't want to say different type of mindset, but you got to play with a mindset that is reckless abandonment. So it's kind of like chaos, but you still have to be sound and know where your fit is and do the right thing.
On the way up to Kansas City, I got a chance to talk with Jordan Williams quite a bit. Told me about the chain gang, and we talked to the chain gang here today from the defensive line. You've mentioned swagger. Those guys don't have too much of a shortage of that. What is it about that unit that gives them such confidence, and what do you hope that what kind of confidence do you hope rubs off on the other parts of the defense?
Well, I think that the confidence they have, those 3 guys, and I'm talking about Rylan, Rafe, and Jordan. Jordan's been basically a 3-4 year starter for us. So it goes back to, and I think I said this last week, where veteran guys have confidence, so they're going to play with a little bit of swagger. what they need to teach with the younger guys, because the younger guys, they may not have that swagger yet. They haven't earned that swagger. They need to learn how to practice. So those starters, those three guys, Rylan, Rafe, and Jordan, they need to practice the right way every day. So they're teaching those younger guys, this is attention to detail. These are the habits that you need to have up front to be a successful defensive line.